Now we get to the analytical part of our program.
Well, I think that non-aligned movement is a very important organization. It is the second biggest organization in terms of its membership after the United Nations. We know the origins of this organization, but times change and we're changing with the times. It's perfectly in line with Azerbaijani foreign policy. It's a multilateral diplomacy. United Nations currently facing massive challenges in terms of the power decision making, in terms of its power structures, decision making, and Azerbaijan has been espousing the policies that the world is bigger than five. The famous statement line of Turkish President Erdogan, which has been backed by Azerbaijani President, because effectively speaking, what I mean by this particular thing, United Nations current system is established in 1945 after the Second World War, and that world was very different to our modern world. So United Nations organizational structure needs to change. And why we're discussing United Nations in this context? Because NUM is a very important organization in terms of two fundamental things, I think. First of all, it can influence the decision-making process there, and it can influence the decisions taken there. Azerbaijan's example is a very clear example. It's a very clear indication how it could happen. For example, I think that from the perspective of non-aligned movement, Azerbaijan does get many benefits, but two things are very special from my perspective. First of all, membership in this organization. Azerbaijan has been a member since 2011, and since 2019 it has been a chair. So Azerbaijan can make global initiatives. Azerbaijan is a country of global initiatives. And what we see here, for example, vaccine nationalism. Azerbaijan has been very clear on this subject from the very beginning. Azerbaijani president made it very clear that there's a disparity between developed countries and developing countries. Developed countries have been stockpiling vaccines well, 4 times more than they needed, whereas many other countries with critical needs didn't have a minimum supply level. So that initiative by Azerbaijani president effectively culminated in 2021 in the United Nations resolution, according to which the resolution was adopted through the activities of Azerbaijan, which was acting on behalf of the non-aligned movement. And this resolution was about equal equal access to the vaccines. So that was the result of Azerbaijan being able to project greater power. You use the phrase project greater power. I would say punching above its weight. So because Azerbaijan is a relatively small country, geographically small, population is 10 million, but Azerbaijan through its membership in this organization can effectively influence the decisions which are beyond its presumed reach. And also I think that Azerbaijan has received sufficient backing from the non-members. For example, during the Second Karabakh War, there was an initiative to adopt a resolution at the level of the United Nations Security Council, which without any mention of those 4 famous resolutions to which we've been making references. Non-aligned movement countries blocked it. That was a moment of reality check, and Azerbaijan's membership in this organization was, in this movement actually, technically it's not an organization but movement, played a critical role. And Azerbaijan has been active not just in terms of leadership, not just in terms of global initiatives, but Azerbaijan has also been effective in terms of its initiatives, in terms of the institutional change in the organization. For example, the last event is about the parliamentary network. And then there will be another meeting of, say, Youth Summit, for example, next month. And today I've read an article that Azerbaijan, the non-aligned movement, is going to have an office in New York, for example. And all of these things are related to Azerbaijan's initiative. And Azerbaijani president, in his speech, I think it was yesterday, he said that this movement needs to be an organization. Because there's a difference between international movement and organization. Because once it becomes an organization, it will be in a better position to influence all of those matters which fall within its rubric. So I'm very optimistic. I'm very positive about this organization, this movement, and Azerbaijan's role is absolutely critical, and it will only increase from now on.
It was enjoyable talking to you, Orhan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us, and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.